Quaich Project is a partnership between ourselves at the Ross Development Trust and the City of Edinburgh Council to effectively take Princes Street Gardens, which is one of the most loved public green spaces in Edinburgh, and really make it the best space it can possibly be to the benefit of everyone that lives in the city. I think it's been clear that over the last few generations there's not been enough money available to help maintain it and continually improve it, and it's looking a little bit tired in the infrastructure. A lot of it's desperately needing improved, and that's what we're here to do. So the Ross Development Trust, which at the moment is paying for all the work, is a charity that's set up with the intention of raising funding from various sources, whether that be individuals, corporates, trust funding, public sources, public bodies. We've been reliant on donations to keep us going for the last 5 years, and we've been very clear from day one that this is about us acting as the vehicle to try and go out and find that support and the funding and help deliver all the improvements that we're looking to make within the gardens. Absolutely not. I think we launched our public fundraising campaign in the spring of last year. We've held events in Los Angeles, in New York, in London, in Edinburgh. The recognition that the council don't have the money to be able to make these improvements, and we're working with them to try and help in partnership deliver these improvements to the benefit of the city, and we're looking for support from people not just in Edinburgh but all around the world that have an affinity to the city. This land will always remain common good land. That's one of the things that we've been very clear with the council about them. There's never even been a discussion about that changing. The work that we're trying to do here is about trying to improve that land for the benefits of everyone that lives in Edinburgh. We're looking at obviously a number of different types of sponsorship. The majority of it will be philanthropic giving, in which people or individuals or businesses will just effectively give us money in correlation with what our intentions as a charity are, which are to make the gardens the best space they can possibly be. Now, they can't make demands for how that money is used, or they can't seek financial return based on that philanthropic giving. Effectively, we've been running on philanthropic giving for the last 5 years. We've taken over £6 million worth of that, and there's been nothing in the gardens to effectively let anyone know that that's been the case. We are looking at opportunities for corporate sponsorship where there are small returns for giving gifts. We're trying to offer opportunities or small things that don't affect the gardens in any way. They won't make any difference to those people that want to come and visit them. We are exploring options for naming rights, but that's something there's a history of in the gardens. If you look at the Ross Bandstand itself just now, that's one naming right. You look at the Ross Fountain, another one. There's benches in there, over 150 of them, all with people's names on them. It's something that's common to the city. There's buildings all over Edinburgh that have got people's names on them, and if we can look to somebody that's prepared to give a substantial gift to the city in return for their name being on the building, I think that's a win-win for everyone involved. Well, I feel like from our point of view we've been transparent with everything we've done to date. We've got a good relationship with the council. We've been working with them on what we can offer people in returns. Certainly we'll be doing our own due diligence as a charity to look at potential sponsorship or donor opportunities. Once we have something of a substantial gift, we will have to be taking that to our council officers team, who will then potentially go to council committee depending on the size of the donation. But yeah, we won't be making any decisions on our own. We'll be looking for the opportunities, trying to get people excited about the project and prepared to provide a significant donation, and then we'll be working with the council to make sure that they're happy with that whoever that's coming from. The management of the ownership of the gardens has been talked about a lot in the last few years. We recently went to the Culture and Communities Committee in January with a business case, the council business case of how the space was going to operate. Just want to be clear that will be the council that do that and continue to do it. They're working on a sort of management plan at the moment and numbers around how that space will work, because people want answers with regards to how many events there's going to be, etc., etc. And to touch on that, to be clear, the council have come out and said publicly that they're not going to increase the number of days the gardens are used for major events than what's there just now, but you'll have the benefit of all the small community performances that this new facility will be able to hold.
So can you put a specific number on the major events which will be held in the gardens?
Not on the number of major events, but I can put a number on the number of days they'll be used, and that's 15. The council had previously been talking about 5 major events, but there was then confusion there because some events were more than one event, and to be more transparent, the council have started talking about the number of days the gardens will be used.
Absolutely. How do you know that?
Well, we've been speaking to people, to stakeholders for 5 years. We've held numerous consultations, events. I've spoken to thousands of people about this project since I started, and the support has been, I wouldn't say unanimous, but it's been very, very close to that. I mean, I could count the number of negative conversations I've had with people on one hand, and most of the negativity is based on misconceptions, and given other things that are happening in the city and in the world of social media, it's easy for those misconceptions to be had, and it's our job to try and put the correct messages out there to reassure people this is a project set up by people that love the city with a charitable intent to try and make this gardens the best space it can possibly be, and ultimately that's going to be to the benefit of residents. From a design point of view, we're working through a planning application. We're hoping to submit that towards the beginning of the summer. But in terms of the business case, that'll be the next thing that goes to back to council. At the committee meeting in January, the councillors were looking for more information and more detail behind those figures. And the council officers have committed to having a report ready, an updated business model by the next meeting, which will be at the end of March. So there should be something going to the Culture and Communities Committee in March.